Hello, so it is the next day, and last night I finished some filling. So I filled with the cork. I corked around the window and I filled in some little holes with some filler. Lots of gashes and marks and chunks missing on the door that I filled in as well. And I also corked all the way around the door frame apart from down here. This is a bit here that's not, it's kind of warped and it's come away from the wall, and I tried to screw it on, I tried to nail it down and it didn't work, so I'm not sure what to do here. Maybe it's just worth putting some filler behind it to support it from behind and just leave it. Fill over the holes I've made by putting nails in and stuff. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is I'm almost there at the point of painting, because we tested out some different colours. You probably can't see them from there, but I'll show you in a minute. There's a colour here, a colour here, a colour here. This one here is just a repeat of this one. And this one is, yeah, one I think I showed yesterday. But I think I've chosen this one here. Is kind of it's not too cream colour, it's not too warm, it's not too grey, it's not too greeny. This one is quite greeny and a bit too dark, a bit not white, a bit too off-white. So I think I like this one. It's eggshell as well, and the coverage looks really good. And I've got a little I think it's 750 milliliter. This one? No. That one. It is off-white, number 3, estate eggshell. This one, I'm not sure, this little pot, 750 milliliters, it's going to be enough to cover both of the shutters over there and all this woodwork. I don't know, really, there's not that much space, there's not that much surface area, that's what I'm trying to say. This is the biggest bit down here. There's obviously the little bits at the sides and then the little bit at the top, and then 2 shutters, so surely that should be enough for that. The door is actually going to be painted a different colour. So I've got it down here. I think I've already explained this before, but this is called Bancher. It's the colour I chose to paint the whole room. This is estate eggshell, and it is best for interior wood and metal, but it's the same colour as the walls, and that's purposeful. So in a lot of Georgian houses you'll see the door just painted the same colour as the walls to sort of blend in with the walls, and I really like that look, so I want the door to be the same colour as the walls. And I got a different paint for the door, the wood, because it's more hard wearing than just basic like emulsion. Because obviously when you're coming in and out the room, you might accidentally kick the door, or if you're carrying things in and out the room, the door gets more scrapes and whatever, you know, it gets more wear. So I thought it's worth getting a pot of different kind of paint, eggshell, instead of just using the same emulsion that's on the walls. Anyway, I don't know, it might look weird because it's going to be have a slight, very subtle sheen on it compared to the matte wall, so I don't know. I might actually end up painting the normal emulsion on top of it, so it blends in more with. Anyway, I don't know until I do it, do I? So, right now, I didn't want to do it, but Mum said it's best to do it, to give a light sand to the undercoat and primer. The stripping and sanding of this woodwork, I've said this before as well, I hated it more than taking out the fireplace, than uncovering the fireplace, and all the rubble and dust and everything. I hated the stripping and sanding more than that. Horrible. Anyway, I don't know how interesting it is watching me restore this woodwork, but I've already spent, this is the 3rd day. This is day 3, just trying to get this woodwork finally painted. That's how long it's taking. Now there is the last little bit of filling I have to do down here. I think I'm just gonna do what I said. I'm just filling behind it, and yeah, so I'm gonna do that now. And then you'll probably watch me sanding again. How fun is that? How entertaining. Watch Alex do some more sanding for the gazillionth time. I'm a little bit sick of being covered in dust and dirt. Dusty stuff. I'd rather be covered in, much rather be covered in mud and soil than dust. Oh. And there's a few spots that I've actually forgotten to paint. I've just sanded the windowsill and given it a layer of paint, but I think I'll sand this. I didn't take this gloss off because obviously the plastic window's here and I didn't want to melt the plastic window because the heat gun gets really hot. So I don't think I'm going to paint it with another layer of paint. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to sand it after the sill is dry here because I don't want it all sticking to the sill. But I'm going to sand around here as well, give that a good sand while I do the rest of it as well. I've also had to paint around the edge of the door, which I put the cork around last night and I kind of forgot about it. And also this bit here, I just forgot about, so I have done it last night, this edge. So I've still had to do some painting. And it looks like I'm going to have to do some more because, I'll show you. See the shutters? Well, they've got edges. I'm thinking these are going to have to be sanded, not sanded, already been sanded. They're going to have to be painted as well. So I'm going to have to do that. Just when I thought the painting was over of the base coat, and I'd be able to get started on the other coat. Still got to do more prep work. bees and hoverflies doing their thing this morning. We've got loads of flowers on our climbing beans here. You can see it's mostly bean leaf. They're kind of smothering the corn a little bit. But the corn hasn't grown very tall, and so the beans haven't really got anywhere to go. So I'm thinking, I don't know, putting in some stakes a little bit higher for the beans to grow up. But I mean, they're flowering like mad. There's loads of flowers all over them. And that little bee is helping us along by getting them pollinated, and we can see some tiny little beans forming, like baby beans. Baby beans. That's Puss Boy. Even down here. Where is this? It's not even attached to anything. It's got beans growing on it though, and I also put a bush bean down here. I think I'm at 2 bush beans down here, and here, which I sowed not too long ago. Obviously some of these corn are a little bit smaller than others, and it hasn't flowered yet. But this one has. You just sort of can't do it with one hand. I sort of pull the leaves back out of the way, just tap, and you can see the pollen falling. Well, you can't on camera because it's like microscopic. But yeah, anyway, I think they'll just do that naturally. Yeah, so beans are looking great, and so is the rest of the garden. Everything's growing really well right now. The sunflowers are all coming out. The peas are still going like absolute crazy. I don't know where the end is with the peas. They just keep coming. We can't eat them fast enough. I think we sowed way too many way too many plants because they are so prolific. It's just like, look at this. I mean, you can't complain because it's like a great abundance of food, but this is crazy. It's like pea-mageddon over here. And because we can't eat them fast enough, they're kind of getting a bit full, you know? So we have to harvest the peas out of them rather than eat them small. But I have collected 1 pod that fell off for the little peas for next year, so I think that might be the plan. I'm going to collect some of these, like these really juicy, round, chunky ones, and dry those for next year. But it looks like it's got some sort of mildew. I know the weather's been really humid. Look, it's got some sort of powdery mildew on it. It's been really humid weather, so it's not a surprise, to be honest. And some of the leaves have started going crispy and dying. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe I should cut these off. These bits have kind of gone crispy, look. I really don't know what that is. I don't know if they're just... They are starting to turn colour, some of the older peas, the first batch of peas. You can see they're starting to kind of go yellowy. I don't know if this is them just naturally starting to die off. I don't know how long peas are supposed to last, to be honest. But, I mean, they're still sort of growing. It looks like they've slowed down because the leaves are getting smaller though, mind you. Look. So I don't know, maybe they're just coming to the end of the cycle right now. But I don't know. I have to look this up just in case. And we've got the poor garlic down here. Look at this. This is the most impressive flower in the garden right now. It's just absolutely stunning. But unfortunately, it has swamped our garlic. And so have the peas, and there are some nettles in there. Like a stinging nettle. But this is one of the smaller ones, I think. But if we have a look down here, I wasn't sure how they were doing, but I can see bulbs. Look, see garlic bulbs happening, and they're coming along quite nicely. So I'm thinking in the back end that's in the autumn, they should be ready to harvest, and they should be decent, you know, sized bulbs, which are great because we also use a lot of garlic. I should really pull some of these nettles out, but I can't. I don't want to get stung right now. The coriander and the sweet peas are, of course, incredible. They are right at the top of the structure that we built. And the coriander is just growing like crazy. This was like less than a pound from the shop. And we split it up and it's growing amazing and it looks beautiful. And yeah, I look forward to harvesting the seeds. I've never done that before. Never harvested coriander seeds, but interesting. It looks so beautiful, look, with all the flowers and the house in the background. Anyway, it is the morning and I haven't had my breakfast yet, so I'm heading back to the house. Ah, yes, the onions that need picked. We're thinking about taking some of these to the neighbours. I think I might pick some of these giant onions and give them to the neighbours. I think anyone would appreciate giant onions like that. And maybe some peas, actually. Maybe some peas. Although the problem with peas, you need to like cook them straight away. So I don't think I can take the peas.